questions for Brandon?
So, Brandon, we know that, you played center in a bowl game, you practiced there, but now it's full-time at that position. So what's that mean? How do you improve, even though you've been playing there, a good bit, practicing there in the past?
The way I kind of think about it is, when I first started doing center, it was more like 100 level classes, 101, just getting in there, general knowledge type stuff. Now it's time to get into those 300 level classes and really start getting past that certain point and looking at the bigger picture and looking at outside of the guy in front of me, this guy outside of like DNs and stuff like that, and understanding the whole big picture so I can get everybody on the right guys and also be ahead of all the twists and the blitz and all the different fronts. Just going out there and just kind of just improve upon the things I was good at and then, work on the things I was weak at, So just going out here and just trying to do something different every single day.
How do you approach following what some people think may have been the best center to ever play here?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you go about it as I'm me, I'm going to play the way I play? How do you approach it?
Me and Zach play completely different ways. He's a kind of a wrestler kind of guy. I'm more of like an athletic, get around and stretch kind of guy. But like seeing that guy, seeing how he works, you just look at the things he does. You just kind of build that work ethic and just kind of bounce off the things he did, going into that role. It stepped up my game another level because I know I got to go and fill those shoes. And also I got to be a leader in that room. So it kicked up my game another level. And I had a great offseason based on that. Just I had to change my mentality up. I had to be a leader in the room and had to follow those shoes. And we can't skip it. We can't miss a beat. Like this is the year we should make a drastic jump and to get this 10+ wins. So I don't have a time to be going backwards. I have to be always going forward.
What's the one thing you look at on tape or watching him, studying him, and you go, dang, man, that guy, that's pretty good. That's pretty special. What are some of the things?
He's really good with his hands, because he's a wrestler. He had a wrestling background, so when he grabs people, he's able to control that body weight and control them and bring them in and cinch them in and keep them tight. Looking at that, I'm trying to and put that in my game myself and trying to improve upon that. But yeah, they watch him and his hands are so strong and he's able to do things with his hands that now I don't think a lot of guys in this draft class can do.
My perception, you talk about leadership, my perception was you've always been sort of a vocal guy that had good leadership qualities. Do you feel like you've always been there, and do you have to even step that up further now?
Coming in my second year, I started playing early. Just a new guy coming on, and the team was really relatively young, and you kind of got to step up. But I always wasn't like a very talkative guy. Like you ask anybody around here, I'm not like super talkative and stuff like that. But as I got older and as I got more comfortable, and my work ethic even stepped up, like I felt more comfortable stepping up and calling guys out and doing these type of things and leading other guys. So really just came down to really just getting those reps and getting older and getting stronger and now a lot more people respect you. More people respect you if you really out here putting in the work. Because if you're one of those guys, the loudest guys in the room and don't do nothing, don't show up on time, don't do this in the third, then people are not going to respect you. So you just got to build that from day one. You got to build it up every step of the way.
Zach's wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you have a second sport in high school that you incorporated?
My second sport was basketball. So like that came down to like foot speed and stuff like that. So that's why I like, getting letting loose and get on the screens and running. I just feel a little more comfortable doing that.
I assume you played more post player?
I feel like me personally, I feel like I could do anything, but yeah.
Compare and contrast this offensive line to last year's. I guess from the outside, people would say this one may be a little more athletic, the other one may be a little more physical, brawler type. How would you compare the two?
How I compare the two, I think we'll still have. I don't think anything's changed because we still have the same type of morals and identity, and nothing changes. So we're still going to go out there and be physical, but we're still going to add more things. We're going to unleash our playbook a little bit more, and we're going to be able to do a lot more things and getting guys loose and getting on some screens and running and letting guys get loose and stuff like that. But I think we're still going to have that physical mentality. That just comes with our identity in the room.
Is that a product of the experienced guys you got up front, you think?
For sure. I think because we developed with each other. We came in this weight program and we have all worked with each other, and we're a close-knit group. So we go out there and we work together. We do extra workouts together, and I think and we trust each other more. So the guy next to me, I trust him to do his job, so I can be 100% and going fast. And if I make a mistake, my guy's going to pick me up 1,000%.
Mental. Go ahead.
The move to center, is the hardest thing learning how to make those calls?
I wouldn't say that because, I mean, I've been in this offense for a very long time. Nothing's really changed. Some of the terminology's changed, but I wouldn't say it's really big different. Since after being here for a while, you kind of get this bigger picture and you kind of see like what this is what the center's doing, this is what the guard is doing. So it makes my job much easier, and I can make these calls. So I wouldn't say it was the calls was much different transition. I think it was just the looking at the defenses and reading them. You know what I mean? Instead of just making these calls, I had to read the defense and call different things based on that.
And then how big was it that you played the bowl game at center, so now coming into this year, you at least know what it's like for you have that one game point of reference.
Yeah. I think that was huge. Coach talked about it like that bowl game was kind of started the 2024 season and really went out there and kind of used it as like, oh, this is for next year and just really just see where I'm at and see what any things I need to work on. And I think I did pretty well in the bowl game for coming in kind of short notice and stuff like that. So I think it really worked out pretty well.
Speaking of short notice, biggest challenge of your career was that last drive against Baylor when you had to go in. Walk us through that. I mean, that had to be frenetic. It had to be pretty hectic.
Situations like that, like I wouldn't say it was like really, really tough situation. I just went in there kind of like practice. We practice that all the time. We do mock games and, oh, Zach goes down, get in there. I run in there and you know what I mean? So we practice things like that, situations like that, and for sure. And I've been working practice. Like every practice, I work center every single day. So I'm doing the same things Zach's doing throughout the week. He goes in for a couple of plays. I go in for a couple of plays. I get the front calls. He gets the front calls. So I'm doing everything. That whole week I was doing things like a right guard, and I was doing things like a center. I do things like a left guard. I do things in my brain, like kind of like the whole starting. So anybody goes down, I can do anything, and that was my thing.
Were you on the field and switched over? Is that what happened?
No, I was on the sideline. I was still in kind of concussion protocol, so I was still doing limited reps. And that when he went down, I came in and kind of just
and then went to a big fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon, I was on the sidelines for that game. It looked to me like you didn't have your helmet on you initially. You had to grab your helmet and everything's going. Am I right?
Yeah, because I think we just finished a drive and I think we just got the ball back. I was down, like I was probably like down like 20 yards all the way down here, and then I saw Zach go down. And then I saw him like get up kind of slow, so I immediately started running down. So I knew already like I had to come in, so I started running down already.
Okay, question away from football. I understand you had an interesting spring break.
Yeah.
So walk me through your missionary trip.
Just really just that. When I think about the mission trip, I think about like I was blessed to be in a position like. Playing football and seeing this world, and really we're in a really privileged situation, and going over there, you really see people that really have it different than you. Like I seen kids living in sheds. Only people that can protect them was 3 guard dogs. You know what I mean? So you go over there and see that, and you're able to help them and give them a helping hand. Like I would do that 1,000% again and again and again. And I think I'm just in a really privileged and blessed position to really be able to go out there and lend a helping hand and use my body to be a vessel for God. And I think that was huge for me. And I really can look at it and just come back here and kind of use that in my development. Like, you know what I mean? All these things. And I'll say football practice is hard. Just imagine you don't know what you're gonna eat that night and and who's gonna come home and protect you. And if I'm gonna have clean water that day, like I go to practice and I got people hosing me down with clean water and stuff like that, and people chasing me down just to give me water. You know what I mean? And it's really crazy to go up there and see that type of stuff, and it really puts me in perspective.
Guatemala, right?
Yes.
And what did you actually do when you went over there?
Went over there, and there's a Christian school over there, and they work with people in the community, and they wanted us to go over there, and we built a stove for one lady and her family, and then we went and did food orders, and we gave out socks to people and water filters, so that was really huge.
Even any comp tickets for anybody in Guatemala?
Nah, their big thing over there is running. They like to run over there, so they probably wouldn't even care about football.
Did you explain to them you're a college football player?
Yeah. I mean, the average they're Mayan descent. Like their average height over there is probably like 5 feet tall. So I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like they looked at me, they were really confused. They could have thought I was anybody at that point. Yeah.
Part of a church trip, I assume. And in what church did you go through?
I kind of just did it like a family type of thing. I did like a family type of thing. They usually do with a church, but this time we just kind of went as a family. But yeah.
Who went with you then?
Me, my wife and her family,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was pretty much it.
Do again? I mean, you.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to bring more guys this time. More guys this time.
Hard, but something worthwhile, I guess, is a good way. I mean, seeing something like that can't be easy.
Oh, definitely not. For sure not. Because it just really just puts everything in perspective and how your life is going and how you do things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is that in line with what you want to do in your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
People and service and all
for
of
sure.
that?
I mean, wherever I'm doing in life, I for sure just want to come back and go to that place and just help out again. Like even next year, like when I'm doing like my prep for the drafts and stuff like that, I for sure want to do that trip during the spring break.
Well, whose idea was it? Was it your wife? Was it you? Was it her family? How did this all come about?
That's a thing they've been doing for years. They've been doing that for years now, and we finally got the right time, and they kind of planned it a year and ahead. They found out the spring break schedule, so the best time for me to come and do some manual labor, I would say. Only me and her dad was only guys on the trip with muscle, so they had to wait for me, I guess.
Gotcha.
Brandon, get back to playing center a little bit. As often as you guys operate in shotgun, what goes into, I guess, successful snaps and understanding, I guess, that the ones that are successful go unnoticed and the other ones that go unnoticed are the bad ones, I guess?
Yeah. With that, I just kind of do the same routine and being consistent, finding things that work for me. Like look at where my hands play. Some guys like doing different kinds of snaps and different hand placements. I just gotta find out what works out for me and what I can really let loose in and not feel like I'm having to slow it down. I can just be one flowing motion. So that's for me. Just have it flow and kind of be consistent the whole time. So consistent snaps, I'm getting in the same spot every single time, and I can really just build upon that.
Excluding your buddies, take them out of this. Give me some guys that are jumping out at you this spring that you're like, whoa, they've made a big jump, or people that we don't know about that are going to possibly make a difference next year.
I think people that's made a really, really big jump is Johnny Williams. He's done a really, really good job and being consistent. He's being a lot more physical. He had a really good offseason, really working hard to get stronger. He's a young guy, still has a young body, but I think he's still starting to figure out like how to use his body because he has a big frame, and I think he's just still getting into this mode. But I think he's really coming along, and I think he looks really, really good right now. Him and Landon. Landon's doing pretty good. He's been in the program for a couple of years. He had a really good offseason, getting stronger. He's making good mic calls and stuff like that, and he's really trying to become more of a leader in the room. And I think my job is just continue to push those guys because I don't want them guys to get complacent because they do look at us like we're fifth year, sixth year guys and like, oh, we're not going to play. But you still have to practice like you have to play snap one at Penn State. And you guys still got to work hard and still get better in the spring reps because you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like one thing can happen. And
How about guys you're going against? Who's you're going against that you're like, whoa?
I think our defense right now looks really, really, really good. Really, really good. I think Fatorma, he's doing a really good job. He's super strong, long-armed guy. Hammond Russell, he's really going to surprise a lot of people. He's working hard. He's getting his body right. He's continuing to come along. And we got new guys like T.J. Jackson. He coming in. He's doing pretty well in pass pro reps. He's moving well. Sean Martin, he's using his arms. He's using his length. He's feeling pretty strong. We could say Josiah Trotter, he's doing pretty well. He's a freak of nature. You know what I mean? You see his family, what his family does. He's out there flying around. He's seeing stuff before stuff even develops. Like he's going to be a really, really good key part for us. I think everybody in the defense right now is looking really, really good.
Is he tough to reach, get to?
For me, I wouldn't say no because you know what I mean. I know what he's going to do. I see it coming. I see a lot of football, so but he's moving. He's making us work, and he's really moving. He's doing a really good job.
No issues with him laterally or movement or any what?
No, he's
good.
he's explosive. He's flying around. You can see him moving around. Like if you see him move, he don't like nothing happened to him. He's flying. He's flying.
Brandon, you were talking earlier about your basketball background. Sean was in here earlier. He's got a basketball background. Rodney, obviously, as well. If you created a starting five out of current WV football players on the basketball court, who would you put out there?
For sure. Okay, yeah, it'd be Rodney, him. It'll be Aiden. He's pretty good. And then the last guy, I'm trying to think who else. I'm thinking of guys that played basketball on the team. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like we got Sean. He's gonna be at the 5. He's for sure gonna be at the 5.
Yeah, you got any power forwards yourself?
I'll probably use myself as a power forward. I can just spread the floor. I'm trying to think of another small guy. I'll probably use RB Burks. He shot one free throw in here. He actually made it, so I'll go with him. Yeah, not a lot of guys are making this free throw.
Nick was good in high school.
Yeah, he'll be our
fix it
6th man.
up?
He'll be our 6th man. We just can't have to be. We can't be. Yeah, we gotta do a little. We gotta lower down the size a little bit.
Do you and Nick as well? You guys are 6th-year guys. Do you feel old?
Oh, for sure. Like when you look around and you ask guys what year they was born, they say 2006. I'm like, whoa. I shouldn't be here with you, but no, we look at each other. We still try to keep it young, I guess. We're trying to move around and run around, but yeah, we do look at each other like, man, we feel we are old. You know what I mean? So when our knees are hurting, our backs hurting, we in there doing extra recovery. Yeah, we can feel it a little bit.
Are you the only married guy left now?
Yeah.
Brandon, the hand stuff that you're talking about with Zach and his wrestling background, I'm not saying you picked up wrestling, but anything that could, I don't know, close that gap of how he was so good there and you're trying to develop that, other exercises, skills, things like that you've been working on?
With that, I just gotta be conscious of where my hands are at every single rep. Still trying to work on it, still trying to get better at it. That just comes with this grip strength and just being strong and just working on that stuff and being conscious of it. Like if you're conscious of it, I think you'll be able to do it. My thing is go out there and practice, and I'm saying look at one thing I need to work on. If I need to be my snap hand, my off hand, just need to work on those type of things.